Hello, Year 9 GCSE option students for dance. Welcome to the final video lesson of this series of 5. Hope you got on okay with the last one, and hopefully you sent me your collage of physical skills. So this one we're just going to focus in on expressive skills once we've had a quick recap from last week. So I know your fact book states we would have looked at all the skills this week, but we're only going to focus in on expressive, having covered physical last week. Okay, so just to recap last week's physical skills. So we know the definition is aspects enabling effective performance, and you should first of all be able to tell me how many skills there are in physical skills, guys. And now what I want you to do is name them. So 11 physical skills, go. When you're ready, so I would pause here. When you're ready, press play for the answers. Boom, here they are, guys, 11 skills. We have got a mnemonic for those, but we'll share more of that because I like to involve people that are in the class, your names, it helps you to remember it. So when we have our definite list of everybody doing it, we'll sort a mnemonic out for that. Okey-doke. So I did say I'd just show you how you might get asked something on these skills in an exam paper. So here's an example, and there's a picture there, and this question from the examiner is name a physical skill. That should say skill, not skills. Name a physical skill you can see in this picture. Define your chosen physical skill, and then describe why this skill is important to the dancer. So I've just answered that for you so that you could see how it might look on a paper. So the skill I'd choose would be balance. Definition, a steady or held position achieved by an even distribution of weight. And then I've gone on to say why this would be important to a dancer, because it will help them to maintain positions so they can execute movements efficiently. If it asks for more than one skill, I'd probably have then talked about flexibility as well in that particular picture. So that's how it might relate to an exam paper. You don't always get a picture. It could just ask you to define isolation, for example, and then you'd have to give the definition. And then it will always have some linking questions. So it might then say, describe an exercise to improve isolation. And you might talk about isolating your rib cage, doing some side-to-side actions. So that's an example of how it links. Moving on to this week's lesson. So it's a very similar setup to last week. I'm going to talk about expressive skills this time. So these are all things that make the performance more exciting, basically bring it to life. So an example of some more questions that you might get. Oh, just before that, this is the mnemonic that I've made for expressive skills. There are 8 expressive skills. So task 1, before we talk a bit more, is to match up. So the F would obviously be focus, and then I want you to pause this screen now and match up the other 8 skills to the words. And it's quite, we always find, Year 11s always tell me that they can remember things better if I involve food. So for school, choose pepperoni pizza slice for meal times. And that helps us to remember the 8 expressive skills for dance. So have a go at matching them up. When you're ready, press play. So this slide, I've decided to, again, just think about how it might relate to an exam paper. So they might ask you to define the term expressive skills, name 2 expressive skills, define a specific skill, why do we need it, an exercise to improve it, which is basically what I was talking about in the last few slides. So I was talking about expressive skills and what they do for us. So this is the definition from the exam board. Expressive skills are skills which contribute to performance artistry and engage the audience. So I always think of it, you know, it's about bringing the performance to life. That would definitely give you a mark. Name 2 expressive skills. Can you remember any yet? To have a go at naming some now. There's your list again of the 8 you might have mentioned. So, like before, here's a picture for you. Pause the slides again. Have a go at identifying 2 from the 8 and see which ones you come up with. When you're ready, press play. So, in the last picture, I probably would have chosen, well, definitely facial expression. And then the other one, with the person in the back, sensitivity to the dancers would have been a good one. So if you're not sure what I mean, you could zhuzh back a slide and have a look and connect those together. So what I need you to do now, this is task 2, you're going to write this table out. So pause this video, write the table out, which names the skills and their definitions, and then when you're ready, press play to move on. Okay, I'm now going to do what I did when we did the physical skills. So each slide will have the name of a skill, its definition, which you don't need to write out again because you've just done it on the other slide, but you then would need to take note on the purple boxes. How does it help you to perform in dance? So focus is about communicating and making a connection with another dancer, or it could be connecting with the audience, drawing them in, making the performance clean and interesting. So that could be your note taking. I wouldn't write it out word for word, I would just note take. So then the next slide is going to be where we have a look at how you'd improve it. So here's focus for us. It gives us an idea that you could place a sticky note on the wall as you rehearse and then slowly start to take them away. You could do a similar thing where you have people sat in corners of the room and you want to look at them at certain points. And to improve and check that you're actually getting it and putting it into your performance, you could get somebody to watch you. So peer assessment, teacher assessment, you could also film and watch yourself back on this one. And there's loads of different ways that you might go about improving your focus. So I'm not going to talk through the next few slides as before. I'm going to let you zhuzh through them at your own speed, make notes from them, and then when you're ready, obviously you move to the next slide. So I'm just going to go straight through them all. I might talk a little bit on musicality because that's where your task for this week will come in. So have a look, good read of each, and I'll see you on the musicality slide. Okay guys, this is a really, really fun thing to do. So down at the bottom, we can see a little clip I've given you for musicality. So I need you to type that link out into your browser and have a watch of the mountain biker, because it's such a great way to understand all how we use different accents in music, because he'll spin and he'll fall to the little beats, and it's a very specific piece of music which you will hear. Now at the end of this presentation, the task involves that clip, the music in that clip, and I want you to make your own couple of 8s. Could just be arm and head movements, or if you want to go for it, you've got a clear space in your living room, it could be a larger phrase of movement. But I want you to try and show me something that matches the accents in that piece of music. Okay, so I'll carry on through the next few slides before you get to that task. Okay guys, so that's the end of the slide. Hopefully you've copied down the definitions, you've made some notes on that. And this week's task is to send me a clip of you after you've listened and watched the YouTube mountain biker. I want you to send me a short piece of you doing something to that music, showing the beats. So for example, it goes boom, boom, boom. You could do that with your head. Okay, I know that wasn't a brilliant example, but I am sat on a chair, a very high chair actually. So you could use just your arms, dun, dun, dun. But I want to be able to see your understanding of that piece of music and how musicality can make your routine really interesting and different to watch. So that needs to be emailed to elmeek@johnfernley.org, all lowercase. For some reason it keeps coming up in capitals, but lowercase, and it will get to me. I can't wait to see them. I'm so excited. Have fun creating, guys.